Hi everyone, I'm Zeel and today I'm here to talk about FoodConscious for a better you and better planet. FoodConscious is an attempt to help users make more conscious decisions about how they buy, consume, and let go of food. But before we dive deep in the app, why? Why food? First thing, what we eat has a huge impact on the environment. If you see in the graph, beef is giving almost 36 times more CO2 emissions than the plant based diet. The next is the problem of food waste in US. 40% of the food gets wasted, which accounts to almost 1 pound per person per day, $2,400 per month for a household. In all, we waste almost 119 billion pounds of food per year in US. If we continue the food production and consumption at this rate, then just that will consume 96% of the carbon budget. To address these problems, I brainstormed few ideas. First one was to create a low-cost compost bin. While working on it, I realized that more of a service design problem. Next was to create an interactive wall. While it was a fun, immersive experience, I could not leverage more time span to intervene with all the users. And then finally, I decided to go with the app, which is a habit forming product. With the medium of app, I can leverage the periodic interventions with the user and help them live a sustainable life. I did my research with all the data articles, journals, and user interviews. The key reasons I found were overbuying, can't find enough time, forgetting what was there in the fridge, or can't find the relevant recipes from what is there in the pantry. With all these learnings, I made the Lo-Fi prototype and then user tested it. So let's see what works. What I saw was having a recipe finder wherein you can give key ingredients was very beneficial for the users. Next was the storage tips. It helped a lot to see what users wanted to check the quality check tips and the storage tips. Third and the most important, users were amazed by the one-click method of populating all the pantry items for their purchases. And the last one was suggesting what should be purchased in what quantity depending upon what was wasted previously. Let's see the more interesting part. What did not work? So, first thing was stats. The impact page had stats of how you are performing with respect to others. But what if you perform worse than others? It was not very useful for users. Second was a lot of them cautioned me about how many notifications will the app send them. Will it be too irritating? And third one I would call as the disaster, the tracking disaster. So what I thought was when the users will use this app, it will be easy. All they have to do is after the auto population is done of the groceries, they just have to mark it whether they ate it or they wasted it. Seemed easy. But what reality was very difficult. It was too convoluted, just to say in normal terms. And so I had to change my design approach. And then what I thought of is I started focusing on what the app can do better than humans. Also, I realized there was a difference in the mode of action from routine. So there had to be a clear sense of purpose that led to an intrinsic motivation. And in order to enhance this intrinsic motivation, there had to be a creating of empathy towards the food. So I designed my next iteration of Hi-Fidelity Prototype. So let's meet Sammy. Sammy is a 35-year-old woman. She is married, 2 kids, living in New York City. She has a busy personal and professional life. She is often guilty of wasting food. She cares about the environment. She downloads this app and in the hope that it can help her to live more sustainable life. She signs up to reach the home page. Let's see the key highlights of this new design. In the new design, I made the pantry flow very simple. Although it was nerve-wracking in the beginning, it was a very important backbone of my app because the notifications giving the relevant items of what food is left in the fridge and relevant recipes was important to help people waste less food. So I introduced simplified version of the pantry tracking. Let's see how it works. First, how the auto population works. Let us see that. So Sammy integrates the app with Walmart store. She fills in her details. She gets a QR code that she can save as the Apple Wallet code. Very much like our Albert. So what it happens is, she was amazed after she did this because when she opened the app next time, all she saw was all the groceries that she had bought last time were auto-populated in the pantry. All the groceries seemed right, the quantity seemed right, and the expiry date was as expected. She was happy to go. Suppose if Sammy did not have any Walmart store to integrate with and she buys from some local convenience store. There is a way she can scan the receipt. Next part was the heavy lifting that FoodConscious did about what Sammy ate and wasted. No longer Sammy needed to actually log each food item with its quantity of eaten and wasted. What FoodConscious did was to make a list of all the items that had expired and later provide a notification to Sammy. It assumed that all the items that had expired, Sammy had consumed them all. And in case something was wasted, she could just move one of the sliders and get it done. All this was possible with just one click of button. Let's see how that works. So as she gets the notification, she goes to this page. She can change the expiry if she feels that expiry is not that accurate. She can slide over to show what is wasted. And then she can move. It will show the notification that all her groceries are up to date. This will also show what is eaten and what got wasted. Next was, the next time she buys grocery, all she had to do was to scan this QR code for it to auto-populate. It also provides the sustainable choice values for the users. All users need to do and it provides the nutritional score, storage tips, etc. Last but not the least, the notifications part. Although being food conscious is a very nerdy topic and it can be only for nerdy discussions, I wanted it to be having a more reach. And one of the ways to do it, I thought, was humor. With humor, I thought seasonal kiwis and Kim Kardashian works well. What do you guys think? Next was to create empathy towards food. And for that, I used the emotions. Like get strawberries, otherwise they will get moldy sad, giving the sad emotion to strawberries. The usual business like the fridge reminders, update pantry reminders, just showing that okay, your pantry got updated, seasonal eating reminders, and relevant recipes for whatever is there in your pantry. So finally, I would end it with be food conscious, because without food, there can be no life. Love, respect, and care for food. Thank you, Karan, my mama, papa, and family, Adora, Tom, Catherine, Sharon, Mimi, Pedro. all my ITP friends, friends outside ITP, inside ITP, the entire community. That makes this 2 years amazing. Thank you.